working on the Bolens 600 deck here. This is the actual 600 pulley which I saved, and I actually noticed it when I was editing the video. I don't know how I didn't notice it in person, but it's a 3/8 belt, 3/8 wide, and the other pulleys I have for this thing are 1/2 inch. So I just took the gearbox off, and luckily it was a lot easier to get this off this time. And I went back in the woods. Well, first I found this one in the old generator shack that's just filled with Bolens engines that I've stacked in there over the years when we've had problems with them and went over to other ones, Wisconsin engines. But yeah, so I tried getting this one off, and I just didn't heat it up enough. And when I took the case off, I saw the gears inside are, see how these are straight cut and big ass teeth? This looks like a modern differential, or this looks like a modern rear in like a truck. Maybe not even that much. Whatever. Whenever they started, they're spiral cut gears basically. So probably way smoother and quieter. But I've heard that that's not as strong, which doesn't really matter. I don't think any of these ever break. But yeah, so someday if I want, maybe I could take this gear setup and put this shaft on it. That would be cool. Use that and have the quieter gear, smoother, maybe even transfers power better because of the it's not wasting it in friction. Maybe. That would be my assumption. So yeah, unfortunately all my effort to not break this when I took it off was in vain. That's okay. I still have it, and I could someday get 3/8 pulleys for that thing, and I could put it back the way it should be, but it's not really an advantage to have a 3/8 belt on the deck compared to a 1/2 inch. And I've been looking at that pulley setup. It definitely doesn't work the way it's supposed to. The diagram shows that that's supposed to be like a bushing that moves, whereas the way it is now, it's just a stud that goes right through the bottom of the deck, and I have a nut on the other side, and it basically just pivots on some washers. And it seems okay for now, but yeah, it's supposed to be mounted solidly to the deck frame and then pivot inside. So there's other deck styles that have similar arms to that, and maybe as long as the length is the same, maybe they would work. So we'll see how that goes someday. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I still gotta make a whole... at least I finally found a diagram for this deck, so I know how to make the arms for it, potentially. Anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to this. That thing's still really hot from all the heat I had to put on it. It was smoking a second ago. Yeah, slide that puppy on here, and yeah, it'll be good to go. Because I just got the belts today. I finally, about a week ago, I had enough money to buy two belts, the one that goes to the PTO and the one that goes on the deck. So I do that, and then I make the bracket for the back, and I'm ready to do a little mowing, which I really, really want to do with this thing. Excited. Okay, so in 2 ways, and maybe only 2 ways, I can say that this deck design is going to be improved by my meddling. Okay, and there's also these, which may or may not come into play. Because this was, I tapped these holes basically to help keep pressure on the mount. It doesn't really matter. So, I've seen this done on other decks, so it wasn't my idea. And maybe I wouldn't even have thought of it if I hadn't seen it on so many other decks. But it's obviously easier to grease your spindles when it's there. Obviously on these, the stock ones, it was underneath. Just kind of a pain in the ass. Hopefully that'll be good enough to get the fitting on there. If not, I'll take it off and I'll make the hole bigger. So they designed this deck, you know, they kind of knew what they were doing. So basically at the end of this ridge, it looked like it was at the center of this circle. So I just drilled from the other side straight at the end of this little ridge. And it's pretty close. It's not perfect, but yeah, these are newer spindles that have the grease fitting coming up the top, so you can just grease it from the front, and it's going to be, or from the top. It's going to be so perfect on this thing because you don't have to grease that. Like the middle one is mounted to this guy, so you don't have to grease it. Okay, so yeah, I might need a stronger spring. We will see. But I've got stronger springs. So this is supposed to be a 57 and 3/16 belt lengthwise, and that would be expensive. Like, I don't even, Bolens used to obviously sell them because they designed the system, which is odd that they wouldn't have just mounted stuff a little different to make it 57, but whatever. Got this belt on here, and so the improvement, one of the improvements is the 1/2 inch belt over the 3/8 belt. It's definitely a better idea. Now I know why these brackets are shaped like that. It's kind of cool. I was always wondering, like why would they spend that extra time to cut that angle in there? And that's exactly why, because these pulleys are the same diameter, so yeah, that's where the pulley's going. Oh, and this one, yeah, and this one angle is for the pulley, and this angle is for the pulley. So that's cool to see. I'm pretty excited about this. I still have to make the whole bracket system, which is going to be a pain in the ass, but I've got I've got some stuff I can use to help make it happen. Yeah, I just wanted to film this before I bolt the whole cover on. And this goes underneath to help direct grass and to add a little extra structural support to the deck. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, definitely pretty excited. This very well might work. (1962) Bolens 600. Got a, you can see this decades old fucking transmission drive belt, and then the PTO drive belt, brand new today, $5. It's like a $5 belt, and yeah. Fucking awesome. Yeah. So that works. So now all I gotta do is make a bracket. Well, so right now this thing will run a snowblower, so that's good because, as you can hear, it's raining and it's fall. So there's a lot of snow that I need to deal with at this moment. But yeah, get this thing all fucking hooked up. It's gonna be awesome. But it's gonna be so awesome to use this thing in the winter as a fucking snowblower. Definitely have to put the wheel weights on it. Like that's 100%.